Honey Boo Boo accuses her mother of depleting her wealth, highlighting the vulnerabilities of child stars. Why was my money being utilized or accessed at all? Honey Boo Boo has matured, although her financial resources have diminished. In the previous week's episode of Mama June, Family Crisis, Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson addressed her mother, Mama June Shannon, regarding the depletion of her earnings as a child star. It evokes labor restrictions from the era of Charlie Chaplin. At 18, Thompson rose to prominence in early reality television during the 2000s as a standout star on the TLC series Toddlers and Tiaras. Last year, she disclosed to ET her intention to attend Regis University in Denver, having received a $21,000 scholarship to study nursing. Nearly a year into her efforts to finance her future education, Thompson discovered that her mother had purportedly misappropriated a portion of the funds she had first believed she could rely upon. Why was my money utilized or handled? Thompson interrogated Shannon over the income she received from Honey Boo Boo and Dancing with the Stars. What was the purpose of creating a Coogan account? I do not have sufficient funds for it, she remarked upon seeing that the account had less money than she had anticipated. To be candid, Mama, what significance does $33,000 hold? The contested Coogan account dates back to the era of silent film acting. The Coogan Law is named after Jackie Coogan, a child actor who rose to prominence after being found by Charlie Chaplin. Despite being the titular character in The Kid, Coogan's fame did not guarantee financial security. It was not until his 21st birthday, following his father's death and the decline of his film career, that Jackie comprehended he had retained none of the income he had diligently earned as a child, as state law dictated that a minor's earnings were exclusively the property of the parent. Following a lawsuit by the former child actress, the Coogan Law was enacted in California, mandating that 15% of a child's gross earnings be withheld by the employer and deposited into a Coogan account. Morgan Stanley asserts that such legislation is necessary in New York, Illinois, Kansas, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. State law deficiencies create a legal dilemma for certain child actors. Although Georgia, where Thompson resides, lacks these protections, children rendering services in those states are safeguarded. Legislation governing child entertainers has not entirely adapted to the contemporary media landscape. According to Morgan Stanley, kid influencers are not protected by child entertainer labor regulations. The increasing phenomenon of social media influencers sharing every aspect of their children's lives with millions of followers diminishes in charm upon recognizing that the individuals included in this family-oriented content lack legal protection. Child labor continues to be a significant concern in state legislatures across in 2024, according to Nina Mast, state economic analyst for EPI, as reported by Fortune. Influencers have matured and disclosed the efforts they invest. An unnamed former child influencer expressed to Teen Vogue, "I endeavor to avoid resentment, yet I somewhat am." This reflects her experience as her family's primary financial provider. A statewide discourse over child labor legislation is emerging in the background. Expanding into a broader concern, 28 states have proposed legislation that undermines child labor regulations, as reported by the Economic Policy Institute. However, there is resistance to this approach, as 14 states have proposed counter-legislation to reinforce child labor regulations. Nina Mast, state economic analyst for EPI, stated to Fortune, "Child labor continues to be a significant concern in state legislatures nationwide in 2024. In response to Thompson's mother asserting that many individuals do not begin their adult lives at 18 with substantial financial resources, Thompson retorted that she had generated the income herself. "I've been on television since the age of 6, yet I possess little to demonstrate for it, Mama," she remarked, reproaching Shannon for not contributing even a semester's tuition for college. Thompson threatened to litigate against her mother and struggled to finance her schooling, confronting her mother for neglecting her daughter's future requirements. Shannon confessed to retaining 80% and allocating 20% to Alana, according to People. Simultaneously, Alana's sister Lauren Pumpkin Efford characterized their mother as smart for providing the bare minimum to the account, observing that she fulfilled her legal obligations and retained the remainder, with uncertainty over its subsequent use or destination. Nonetheless, the summer heat enveloped the Georgia air as Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson swung open the front door, her eyes widening in astonishment. There was Mama June Shannon, clad in a wrinkled leopard print dress, with a duffel bag in one hand and a Walmart bag in the other, exhibiting an expression that oscillated between despair and feigned confidence. "Mother?" Alana blinked, astonished. "Hello, dear," June remarked, attempting to feign a grin. I require temporary accommodation. Only till I regain my stability." Alana's heart raced. Her sister Lauren, Pumpkin, Shannon entered the living room, cradling her child on her hip, with a troubled expression. Upon seeing June, she immediately tensed. "You cannot reside here, Mama," Alana ultimately stated, her voice trembling yet resolute. June's expression diminished. "What do you imply, dear girl?" "This constitutes my family. Where am I expected to go instead?" Pumpkin advanced. "Are you referring to locations other than Gino's establishment? Or the transitional facility from which you fled? Or the motel where you expended thousands on narcotics?" Her voice trembled with suppressed fury. June gazed at the ground. "I am no longer that woman. I am clean. I have maintained sobriety for 7 months." Alana crossed her arms. "We take pride in that, Mama." "Indeed. However, being sober does not imply that all issues are resolved. You abandoned us. You prioritized everything else above us, above me." Silence descended like a dense curtain. Pumpkin ultimately articulated. "Mother, if you seek redemption, truly desire it, it commences with the realization that boundaries do not equate to animosity. We hold deep affection for you. However, we cannot simply behave as if nothing transpired." June's shoulders sagged. She relinquished the duffel bag. "What actions am I expected to undertake? Slumber on the pavement?" "No," Alana replied, her tone suddenly subdued. "We have already contacted a women's transitional residence. They anticipate your arrival. It is hygienic, secure, and a counselor is present to assist ladies in maintaining sobriety." "I believed I could return home," June said, her eyes glistening. "You will eventually," Pumpkin stated softly. "However, not today. Today, you embark on the next phase independently." June removed a tear from her face. For once, she refrained from disputing. She retrieved her luggage and nodded. "Understood." "Affirmative." As she was about to depart, Alana exclaimed, "Mama." June reflected. "I continue to love you. Simply refrain from causing me regret once more." June offered a small, quivering smile. "You will not, my dear. I assure you." 6 months later, Mama June had finished her rehabilitation, secured employment at a nearby recovery center, and commenced addressing young women regarding addiction, suffering, and resilience. On Thanksgiving, she received an invitation, not to reside there, but to join her daughters at the table, partake in pumpkin pie, and experience maternal joy once more. On this occasion, she remained stationary. She remained. Nevertheless, the July heat in Georgia was oppressive, yet nothing seared more intensely than the anguish within Alana, Honey Boo Boo, Thompson's heart. She perched on the dilapidated porch of their familial residence, gazing into the horizon, anticipating something, anything, perhaps even a miracle. Mama June has been largely absent recently. Indeed, she had undergone rehabilitation. She asserted that she was free from substances. She had assured Alana that circumstances would change. However, pledges were merely verbal expressions. When Alana required her assistance the most, Mama June was absent. The year had been arduous. Alana, now a teenager, endeavored to lead a conventional life among the persistent presence of cameras and drama. Her sister Lauren, Pumpkin, Shannon had assumed a maternal role more effectively than June had in recent years. Education was challenging. Trusting friends proved to be challenging. However, the most challenging aspect? Her biological mother did not attend her high school performance. "I sought you," Alana murmured one night, grasping the wrinkled playbill in her hand. I surveyed the crowd. I continued to harbor hope. However, Mama June never arrived. 3 weeks later, Mama June arrived unexpectedly. Bleached hair, big sunglasses, and a disingenuous smile that deceived no one. "Hello, dear girl," she remarked, extending her hand. Alana retreated. "Your absence was felt when I required your presence," she exclaimed, tears finally streaming down her face. "Are you aware of how that felt?" Each individual had a companion present. Pumpkin and Josh also succeeded in bringing the babies. However, you were not present. June appeared astonished. For the first time, the shame penetrated her facade. "I apologize, Alana. I experienced fear. I believed I would ruin it. I was uncertain whether you desired my being there. I did not desire perfection," Alana wept. "I merely desired my mother." Subsequently, circumstances did not improve miraculously. June sought to increase her presence. She attended therapy. She started sending messages in the morning. "Best of luck today. Proud of you." However, Alana initially did not answer. She required self-protection. She had discovered from experience that love entails more than mere presence during convenient times. It requires perseverance during challenging moments. However, with the passage of time, a transformation occurred. One evening, as they were seated on the rear porch, June inquired, "What would be required for you to absolve me?" Alana did not respond immediately. After a little pause, she stated, "It is not a matter of forgiveness. It pertains to faith. I remain skeptical about your claims for the time being. However, I desire to do so." Tears cascaded down June's face. "That is reasonable," she murmured. "I shall acquire it. No further unfulfilled commitments." Several months later, June attended Alana's science fair. She did not create a significant disturbance. She remained silently at the rear, applauding with pride. Upon Alana's true observation of her, an inward transformation commenced, leading to a gradual softening. She approached gradually and remarked, "You arrived." June remarked, "I informed you that I would." Alana gazed at the ribbon she had secured. "I did not secure first place," she stated. June embraced her tenderly. "You have partially regained my affection." For the first time in an extended period, Alana permitted herself to embrace her mother in return. Nonetheless, nearly 6 months had elapsed since Alana Thompson, widely recognized as Honey Boo Boo, had encountered her mother. The cameras are now deactivated. The crew had completed the packing. The illumination that formerly radiated in their tumultuous Georgia residence had diminished. However, the drama did not conclude with the final episode of Road to Redemption. For Alana, it seemed that the true conflict had merely commenced. She sat snuggled on the couch in her sister Lauren's living room, grasping her cherished vintage stuffed animal, the identical one she has since toddlers and tiaras. The television emitted a soft murmur in the background, however her thoughts were distant. "I simply wish to see you all," her mother had lamented in a voicemail the previous week. However, Alana did not return the call. Mama June had disappeared once more. Following rehabilitation, Gino's situation, and legal proceedings over custody, June asserted her sobriety, cleanliness, and preparedness to restore her family. However, Mama June's promises often proved to be more fragile than a dollar bill at the Dollar General. She had experienced a relapse, not under the influence of drugs this time, however, regarding anarchy. She commenced a romantic relationship with a younger man, distinguished by his ostentatious automobile and corresponding temperament. In an instant, she vanished from their existence. Once more, Alana, at 18 and preparing for college, had been profoundly distressed. "I am fatigued by the continual repairs necessitated by her actions," Alana said to Lauren during one of their nocturnal conversations. Subsequently, the voicemail arrived. "Mother made an error, child. I am aware that I did." June wept amidst the static. "However, I am free of impurities. I affirm it. I am no longer associated with him. I am in Alabama with Aunt Wanda. I merely wish to see all of you. Kindly." Lauren, ever the vigilant sister, deleted the message before to Alana's awareness. However, Alana had observed the missed call. Despite all that had transpired, her heart remained in anguish. 2 weeks later, following numerous tears and heated arguments, Alana entered her vehicle and traveled 4 hours to a tranquil caravan park in Phoenix City, Alabama. She refrained from informing Lauren. Did not inform the producers. She has departed. Seated on a creaky, antiquated porch swing was June Shannon, sober, pallid, diminished in stature, yet retaining the same fierce intensity in her gaze. Alana became immobile. Her throat constricted. "Mother," she murmured. June leaped up and enveloped her in an embrace. "I made an error, dear child. However, I am not relinquishing my hold this time." In the ensuing days, they conversed as if they had not in years. Prohibition of cameras. No scripts available. Two fractured individuals endeavoring to reassemble their shattered selves. June had become a member of a local recovery group. She possessed a sponsor. She was employed as a cleaner at a community center. "I am not a star here, Alana. I am merely June. That is assisting me in maintaining sobriety," she elucidated. They expressed laughter, weeping, and engaged in baking cookies in the compact kitchen. For an instant, it resembled the period before to notoriety, prior to the collapse. Upon Alana's return home, she remained largely silent. However, she appeared altered, more serene and ethereal. Lauren regarded her with curiosity. "You observed her, did you not?" Alana acquiesced. "She is not flawless. However, she is making an effort." "Once more," Lauren murmured. "Indeed," Alana responded quietly. However, on this occasion, she did not request a television. She simply stated, "I merely wish to see you all. That is it." Mama June did not hastily return to the public eye. She did not implore for absolution on television. Subsequently, she commenced monthly visits, initially monitored, followed by unsupervised. The family dinners were initially uncomfortable. However, gradually, the laughing re-emerged. Their narrative was flawed. It was not presented in a polished, reality television format. However, for the first time in an extended period, it was authentic. That sufficed. Nevertheless, it was a luminous Saturday morning in Georgia, and the residence was abuzz with enthusiasm. Balloons were being inflated, cupcakes adorned the table, and young Ella was spinning in her glittering birthday frock. Today marked her significant occasion, her 6th birthday, and the entire family had been orchestrating it for weeks. However, what no one anticipated was that the day would undergo a significant transformation. While decorating the backyard, Pumpkin's phone vibrated. Pumpkin's heart raced. She faced her husband, Josh, who was assembling the bounce house. "Darling, June is approaching," she remarked with trepidation. Josh halted abruptly, his expression immediately constricting. What did she just say? The most recent encounter between Mama June and the family culminated in an emotional, vociferous altercation. June arrived late to a family meal and accused Josh of alienating the children from her. Josh, consistently vigilant in safeguarding Alana and Ella, informed June that she must regain her position in their life. "I will not permit you to enter and behave as if nothing transpired," he stated. June departed that night without uttering another word. In the present, Pumpkin was conflicted. She had extended an invitation to Mama June weeks prior, uncertain about her attendance. However, it had become tangible, and the inquiry persisted. Would her mother's unexpected arrival spoil Ella's birthday? At that moment, a white automobile arrived. Pumpkin inhaled deeply and paused. The door opened, revealing Mama June, who held a gift package and wore a hesitant smile. Alana, known as Honey Boo Boo, approached the cake table and came to a halt. "You informed me that she was unlikely to attend. I did not anticipate that she would," Pumpkin stated. Josh folded his arms and advanced, visibly agitated. "You actually arrived, did you?" June acquiesced.
"I did."
Dedicated to Ella. "I am not here to engage in conflict." A palpable hush ensued. Subsequently, to everyone's astonishment, Ella approached at a rapid pace. "Nana June, you have arrived." She embraced June, who knelt, overcome with emotion. "Indeed, I did, darling. I would not miss it for anything. As the sun descended, the garden illuminated with string lights, and laughing permeated the atmosphere. The strain had somehow diminished. Josh remained vigilant yet courteous. Alana enjoyed a cupcake with her mother. Mama June observed her grandchild laughing and alone for a little period. Pumpkin approached and seated himself next her. I did not anticipate your arrival, she confessed. I nearly did not, June responded. However, it was necessary for me to do so. I have made numerous mistakes. Nevertheless, I am making an effort. One birthday at a time. Pumpkin acquiesced. Your presence here was significant to Ella. Subsequently, with a faint smile, she remarked, next time, however, perhaps provide us with a bit more notice. Josh almost lost his sanity. June laughed. I deduced that when I sent the text. However, I needed to inquire, is Josh aware of my attendance at Ella's birthday celebration? They both laughed genuinely, an authentic chuckle, unforced and devoid of bitterness. A brief instance of healing within a family laden with wounds. For once, Mama June remained till the conclusion. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Zara, and I hope your day is going splendidly. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.